Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast.
Hey guys, today we are going to be talking about something a little bit more controversial, and that is a topic of what is happening in the system of today's judging.
Very controversial. It's a very juicy topic, I should say. Um, I'm not sure if I personally just started paying attention more to judging. Maybe this was how judging worked even before I started paying attention to it. Maybe the judging, basically where I'm coming from, judging is not fair right now. And to be honest, it's never been fair because ballroom dancing is such a subjective sport. But not in that case fair because there are some people that look at technique more. There's some judges that look at technique more, some judges that look at presentation more or musicality, depending on what the judge likes. For example, I had a coach who loved working on legs, leg work, footwork, and I had a judge that was completely opposite. They were more focused on the overall picture. And I'm not talking about that kind of judging. I'm talking about the judging where it just does not make sense how certain couples get into the final when there's couples who are clearly perfect example. I'm not gonna be naming stating names, giving names because we don't want that to go there. Recent competition, one couple got second place in a certain category, in a category that's higher than their age category. The next day they competed in their category and they didn't even make it to the final. And
Your cat agrees with that
yeah,
statement.
those agrees. And uh I gotta say it's confusing. It doesn't make sense because they clearly they clearly should have gotten to the final. They probably should have maybe won. But yeah, it's not it doesn't make sense. Again, maybe I'm just paying attention to judging more now. The judging system, maybe it's been like this the whole time. I understand that we once we get to a certain level, we start looking for coaches to like promote us in a way to like bigger coaches or dancers to say, "Oh, okay, this is my couple," and all the judges like, "Okay, let's bow down to this couple now," in a very, very, very exaggerated way. But but yeah, I just wanted to point that out. It's weird. I'm not sure. What do you think, Ricky? I know that you haven't competed uh, in a bit, but have you ever noticed something is off in the judging? Has this always been a continuous thing, or
I mean, I think I have to say that probably since the beginning of time of ballroom competitions with judges judging couples, there has probably never been a single competition where all the judging was fair. I
okay,
don't think ever.
fair enough.
Um, and I never, ever, ever understood this when I was younger. I would always, not like I would always get angry, but it wouldn't even have to do with me. It could have to do with another couple, maybe somebody that I know, maybe one of my sisters. We all used to compete when we were younger. And I would see clearly other couples that were not even close to as good as my friend or somebody that I knew beating that couple, or even in my case, somebody who's clearly not even close to what I
Yeah.
think would be judged on.
Now, of course,
Would be ahead of me.
there is that factor that they are your close friend, there are your sister, or sibling, or family member. You have that certain level of like sympathy for them and encouragement. And when
You could
they,
definitely be like partial to the situation based on who it
yeah.
is. Um,
Also, what's going on with parents judging their kids? I've
I,
seen that happen a few times. What is wrong? What is up with that?
I
I
feel like parents, okay, obviously now, I mean, I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure that there's a rule that regardless of whoever you are, if you're a judge and you have a child who is dancing at the competition that you have been invited to judge at, I'm pretty sure there's a rule that you are not allowed to judge that age category. I mean, that specific category in which your child is dancing.
Okay.
I've seen that not be applied sometimes,
Okay.
but I was too young to pay attention to it. I didn't really care. And I was just like, I didn't even know that that couple that I'm dancing against, that their mom is judging us. Like, I literally didn't even know that.
Yes. Yes.
But I have seen many times where somebody's aunt or uncle, not their direct mom or dad, but aunt
Okay.
or uncle is judging them on the competition. And I do believe that that is allowed. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I could be completely wrong. And if I'm wrong, please somebody tell me. But I
Yes, tell us, tell us.
times where aunts, uncles, not direct relatives, but still somebody that a person is related to is getting judged by. That I don't really think is fair, because if we look at the situation, judges are humans. They are not robots. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if they're having a good day, if they're having a bad day, however they're feeling, it doesn't matter who's on the floor. At some point, they will be partial to that couple, to that competitor, and it's not their fault. Humans have emotions, and if you are emotionally attached to a couple, it is nearly impossible to judge them with absolutely no emotion whatsoever. And I think that is what is hardest for the rest of
Yes.
the competitors to understand. And we would just want to yell at the judges and be like, why can't you just judge fairly? But
Yeah.
I think on the other side of that, we have to put ourselves in their position. If I was a judge and I was judging somebody who is near and dear to me, like say my sister was competing and I was judging her, like it would be so hard for me not to look at every single good thing about that couple and just be like, oh, they're dancing great today, and give them a place that I would want to place them, instead of brutally looking at that and trying to pick out what I don't like and trying to compare it to another couple that maybe I completely have never even seen that couple before, but they could be just as good as a couple that I'm working with, a couple that I know. And as a
Now,
human, naturally, 9 out of 10 times, it doesn't matter who you are, that judge is going to pick the person that they feel better with, if that makes any sense.
yes, yes. And also we have to consider if even if that I have to consider, and so does everyone else, that even if that parent or relative or even coach, actually no, this is more closer to relatives, if they judge you and they place you where you're supposed to, like where you're supposed to be, and some people get offended by that. It's like, oh my god, why would you place me so low, and so like that. So many issues will come to light, and no one wants that, obviously.
That's true.
So, also, I did have this conversation with a few of my friends. It would take so much of organizing for the actual organizers to do to make sure that all the coaches and all the parents or relatives are not judging their couple. They'll have to, let's say, when if another couple enrolls, they'll have to check through the whole list again of when they're dancing, if anyone related to them is judging, if anyone who is coaching them is judging. That is going to take way too much time. And if they took that too much time, the competitions would get more expensive. So
And there probably wouldn't even be enough
yeah,
judges to judge the competition, because
yes,
pretty much every single judge is a coach
yes.
and they're teaching couples, and if they're not allowed to judge
So
couples, then it's a whole situation. So the whole coaching side, definitely, I think we can have a little bit more
yeah,
scrutiny on the coaches than on actual family members themselves. But I do think that everybody, especially when you're getting to a higher level, more competitive level, you have your coach or your coaches. If they happen to be a big judge in the United States or even in the world, they're going to many international competitions that are internationally recognized and are judging these big comps, the majors. I think as that coach, Now it's easy for me to say because I'm not in this position. But from my position as a competitor, I've blatantly had my coaches come up to me after a competition who literally just finished judging the competition, like literally 30 minutes after the awards, literally just go change out of our costumes, kind of come back to watch the rest of the evening session, blatantly just tell us like, "Oh yeah, I placed you higher because I was trying to help you." Like just like no shame, which
Yeah.
for me as a competitor to know that my coach is trying to help me is great. But at the same time, it makes me feel like that coach didn't really believe that I deserved that mark, and they're just trying to help because it's he feels or she feels like it's a duty to help us, which I genuinely appreciate that. And as a human side, being one of their couples that they care about, naturally they're going to want to help us. But I think as competitors, we have to make it very clear to our coaches, like, hey, you're my coach and I want you to help me as much as possible on the lessons. But when I get onto that floor, I want you to judge me based on my dancing. I don't want you to give me a higher mark just because you want to try to help me. And that's going to be really hard because then you might be seeing your coach be like, why did you judge me so low?
Yeah.
So I think
Yes.
it has to be a give and take between the partnership and the coach relationship and understand that to try to make it a better situation for everybody on the floor, that we need to be more understanding of our coaches judging us and our expectations of that, and the judges deciding that, you know what, I can't give my mark to you this time because this couple is genuinely better than you,
Yes. Yes.
and not just automatically doing your own couple, you know?
Yeah. So in the end, we just have to suck it up and just become so much better than the other couple that you surpass them.
That's the only option.
Yes. So suck it up. It's the way life is. Life is not fair. We just wanted to talk about it because this is a very this is a very
It's a very talked about topic. Everyone
yeah,
talk about
everyone's
judges
talking.
in college.
Especially right now during quarantine, every like during COVID, everyone's mindsets have like slowly gotten more negative and everyone's just like, "Oh my god, this is not fair." You know what? If you can't deal with it, don't be in the competition.
You just have to go into the competition knowing that you can't control what's going to happen.
Yes.
Even if you genuinely think you deserved a way better placement, that sometimes it doesn't work out that way. And that there's always, remember, there's always another competition. There's always another opportunity. And one day, I think I said this in a previous podcast, if you genuinely deserve that placement, it will come to you, even
Absolutely.
if it's not on that competition. And that
Yes.
all of us just have to learn the lesson of being patient and working hard, and things will happen the way that they're supposed to happen.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, thank you for listening. If you have your thoughts on the whole judging system, definitely tell us. Um, we're not telling organizers how to do their jobs. I am more
We
than
just want to
grateful
make
for
that
all
very
the organizers for like hosting all the competitions and everything. I am not coming at any organizer and just like throwing hands, but yes, we are very grateful for all the competitions. It's just everything has their own flaws. We just felt like talking about them. Thank you for listening, guys. We'll see you next episode in the
bye,
next video.
guys.
Bye bye.